The Mauna Loa volcano in Hawaii has begun to erupt. So far, the lava is within the summit and does not threaten the settlements located on the slopes of the volcano. Mauna Loa volcano has started erupting in Hawaii. Lava has not yet gone beyond the summit, the Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency said. At approximately 11:30 p.m., an eruption began at Mokueviovio, the caldera of Mauna Loa, the warning said. It is indicated that the lava is within the summit and does not threaten the settlements located on the slopes. In turn, the Hawaii Volcano Observation Center said it has already raised the danger level for air travel in the area of the eruption to red, maximum, as ash and volcanic glass can spread through the air. At the same time, the center stressed that about half of the eruptions of the Mauna Loa volcano never go beyond the summit. We continue to monitor the situation and share information with emergency officials as the situation develops and post updates as needed, the center said in a statement. Mauna Loa is an active shield volcano 4169 meters above sea level. It is one of the largest in the world. The last major eruption occurred in 1950. Then the lava descended 24 kilometers to the ocean in less than 3 hours. Less powerful eruptions occurred almost every decade until the early 1980s. Recall, in October it was reported that Mauna Loa began to wake up. There were. Meteorologists also warned of the threat of landslides. Rain started to fall in the area of the earthquake since the evening of May 5. Cuba is completely de-energized due to the hurricane. 2 people became victims of the natural disaster. Residential houses and buildings were damaged all over the country. Cuba is completely de-energized due to the 3rd category Hurricane Ian, which hit the western part of the island. This is reported by BBC News. According to officials, the electric power system of Cuba is experiencing a collapse as the work of one of the main power plants, Antonio Guterres, located in Matanzas, could not be resumed. It is noted that there was a blackout on the island, leaving 11 million people without light. The victims of the disaster were 2 people, damaged buildings throughout the country. The hurricane, with wind speeds of up to 195 km/h, is currently looming in Florida. The state has declared a state of emergency. Floods in Brazil and Bolivia have killed more than 30 people, destroyed and damaged homes. Floods in Brazil and Bolivia have killed at least 30 people. As reported by CNN, as a result of flooding in the northeast of Brazil, which covered about 40 settlements in the state of Bahia, killed 18 people, and more than 280 suffered. It is noted that more than 35,000 people were forced to leave their homes. More than 400 houses were damaged, of which 80 are no longer recoverable. And we have information about 13 dead, said the deputy defense minister of the country. The heavy rains have affected 7 of the country's 9 departments. In Santa Cruz, the situation is really critical, he noted. At least 1,000 families have been affected by the floods. Evacuations are underway in several localities. Japan is being flooded by a massive typhoon. The unprecedented downpour threatens floodwaters, mudslides and landslides. Authorities have urged some 4 million people to evacuate to safety. One of the most powerful typhoons in history struck southern Japan on Sunday, bringing hurricane-force winds and the kind of rain that many places in Europe, for example, don't get in a year. The typhoon, named Namadal by meteorologists, made landfall tonight local time near the city of Kagoshima, on the southernmost of Japan's 4 main islands, Kyushu. Wind gusts in the typhoon zone reached 234 km/h. According to the Meteorological Service of Japan, in less than a day in some places will fall or has already fallen about 500 millimeters of precipitation. In London, for example, 600 to 700 millimeters falls in an average year. Such an unprecedented downpour threatens floods, mudslides and landslides. Authorities have urged about 4 million people to evacuate to safety. 13 million people live on the island. Cities disappeared, hundreds of victims. Powerful tornadoes in the USA. The disaster left a 320-kilometer-long swath of destruction in only one state. The authorities called it an unprecedented cataclysm. In 6 U.S. states recorded more than 50 tornadoes, which killed at least 100 people. The search for victims continues. U.S. President Joe Biden declared an emergency and said that this series of tornadoes was one of the deadliest and most destructive in U.S. history. Against the backdrop of climate change, such events are becoming the new normal. Since last Friday evening, the U.S. states of Kentucky, Arkansas, Illinois, Missouri, Mississippi and Tennessee have been hit by powerful tornadoes. The U.S. National Weather Service counted 53 whirlwinds. 100 people were killed, dozens more are missing. The city of Mayfield in western Kentucky was the hardest hit, where, among other things, a candle factory was destroyed, with 110 workers on the premises at the time. 40 of them have been found alive, the condition of the rest is still unknown. Another strong earthquake has occurred in Crete. The epicenter of tremors was located 18 kilometers southeast of the city of Heraklion, with a population of about 140,000 people. In Greece, on the island of Crete recorded an earthquake with a magnitude of 5.3. This was reported by the European Mediterranean Seismological Center in the morning on Tuesday, September 28. According to his information, the epicenter of tremors was located 18 kilometers southeast of the city of Heraklion, the population of which is about 140,000 people. The origin of the disaster lay at a depth of 2 kilometers. Data on the damage and victims were not received. Recall, September 27, an earthquake of about 6 points on the Richter scale occurred on the island of Crete. Then killed at least 1 person, 9 more were injured. There was also significant destruction of buildings, temples and infrastructure. The volcano on the island of Palma has destroyed more than 160 houses. The lava flow is approaching the settlement of Totok with a population of about 1,300 people. It is the last on the lava's path to the Atlantic Ocean. In the Canary Islands, lava flows from the erupting Cumbre Vieja volcano have destroyed at least 166 homes on the island of Palma. It is indicated that tonight on Palma were recorded 4 more earthquakes of small magnitude. Due to the appearance of a new lava flow, an evacuation was carried out in a neighborhood in the municipality of El Paso. As a result, the total number of people who had to leave their homes because of the eruption reached almost 6,000. The lava flow is approaching the settlement of Totok with a population of about 1,300 people. It is the last on the lava's path to the Atlantic Ocean. At the same time, its speed has slowed significantly. If on Monday the lava was moving at 700 meters per hour, now 300 meters per hour. Lava covered an area of more than 100 hectares. Recall, September 19 on the island of Palma volcanic eruption began. From the crater there is an active ejection of volcanic materials. For safety reasons, block traffic on a number of highways. All Canarian airports are still working in normal mode. The last volcanic eruption on Palma was recorded in 1971.